Make sure to check out my Patreon if you want access to the best club tags across all regions. Hey guys, if you're watching this video, then Season 10 has probably already started. This tier list will show you the best junglers for both high elo and lower elos. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more educational and informative content. Thanks for watching. I will also be, for the first time, making updated champion guides this year, so if you're excited for those, make sure to like and subscribe, as I'll be making a lot of content this year. I'm really excited, so hope you guys enjoyed. Love you all. Here's to an amazing 2020, and let's kill Season 10, baby. In the high elo tier list, we have both Olaf and Elise. Both Olaf and Elise are extremely good for both solo queue and competitive play right now. We're seeing a lot of play from Olaf in the Kespa Cup, and we've also seen a recent pentakill from Sandbox on Fleet. The reason why Olaf is so good in solo queue right now is the fact that he has one of the fastest clears while also having one of the most healthy clears. He has one of the best objective controls, making him even that much more of a threat and puts more pressure on the map. He can easily 1v1, easily 2v2, easily 1v2, and so on. As far as Olaf goes as a champion, he doesn't really have a weakness, it's more of a range gap. So if the enemy team has many range champs and kite you or just peel you off, then you're basically at a disadvantage. As far as jungles matchups go, stuff like Kindred and Grace can be annoying, but for the most part, you destroy them early game. With Elise, we're looking at one of the best tower divers and best level 3 skirmishers in the game. She's very strong in 2v2s, very strong in tower diving, very strong at doing objectives. Her only issue is doing the AoE camps, which right now don't really even matter. Elise is also a champion that doesn't have many counters as a jungler. Olaf and Lee Sin can duel her, but that's more after being level 6 and having their ultimates. For the most part, Elise is just overall a really solid jungler, a lot of pressure, map control, and amazing tower dives. As far as the A tier goes for the high-low tier list, we have Lee Sin, Rek'Sai, Echo, Karthus, Sejuani, and Rengar. Both Rengar and Lee Sin can also be S tier if you're very mechanically good at them or just have a lot of game experience on them. They're both extremely strong in 1v1 or 2v2 situations, have really good ganks, and are just overall really strong early game. The issue with Rengar is he's not much of a champion when his ult is down, and Lee Sin can't really do his AoE camps that consistently fast. They also don't really have that many bad matchups, and most of the good matchups are champs you don't see much in high elo. This makes them two of the best champs in the A tier list. Rek'Sai is also a really strong early game champion right now. She's similar to Olaf in the sense where she's not really strong late game and has to be utilized early to mid game if you want to make some impact plays. Contrary to Olaf, she has a stronger early game and can actually gank, similar to Elise. As far as Echo goes, he's simply here because he's obviously too broken, and he's more of a better mid laner than a jungler, I'd say. If you can have a free early game and just farm, then his scaling is insane. His ult's super low cooldown, you can just basically go on every wave and just look for these chunks and just ult back every single time. Karthus used to be B tier on my ult list, but a lot of people got upset. I don't think he's the best spot right now in terms of like the jungle XP. But he's similar to Olaf in the sense where he just wants to do camps, counter jungle, and look for these objectives that are basically free. Finally, as far as Sejuani goes, she got some really nice recent buffs, and I think with the influx of supports like Leona and Nautilus, she has a lot of synergy with them as well. If you have melee champions like Jax, Yasuo as well on your team, you might force the enemy team to build some Ninja Tabai or Mergtrez, therefore making yourself more effective or making your teammates more effective, basically. As far as the B tier goes, we have Xin Zhao, Nidalee, Talia, Trundle, Nunu, and Shyvana. As far as Xin Zhao goes, he's a bit better than Olaf and Rek'Sai early game, but he can't really duel them in 1v1 situations unless he's cheesing them, basically. His team fighting is generally stronger, but even then, it's a late game Xin Zhao, and he doesn't have much of an impact himself. Nidalee is pretty good in the sense of getting herself ahead, and similar to Xin Zhao, doesn't have much of a late game. She's more of just Soraka basically, but she has this early game potential of looking for these invades, just clearing and being annoying and hard to catch. A champion like Talia can be higher on the tier list, but her issue is that she's more of a comfort pick or a synergistic pick. If you have like a Renekton, a Pantheon, something that has a guaranteed lockdown with gap closers, you can definitely see Talia a lot stronger on this tier list. But her issue is that she's not that strong early game, and there are better mages like Elise and Nidalee that probably can overpower her. As far as Trundle goes, I think he's extremely strong right now, just not many people know how strong he is. He's extremely good into the higher tier junglers you'll see right now, like Olaf and Rek'Sai, but will have issues against range champions like Elise and Graze. His clearing also isn't the best, and he's not much of a carry, he's more of a just tank utility. Nunu and Shyvana are pretty similar in the sense where they just want to prioritize objectives like Dragon, and just look to scale into mid to late game. They're both pretty weak early game and don't have much pressure. Nunu has some gank potential, Shyvana's just a farmer if you're building her AP. You just want to farm and get level 10 for your Transcendence procs, and Nunu will just be able to gank a bit more earlier. As far as the C tier goes, we have Grace, Hecarim, Jarvan, Kindred, Kha'Zix, Gragas, and Dr. Mundo. For me, Grace isn't the best champ right now. He's more of a counter pick, and basically just the worst version of Olaf with range. Jungle experience is pretty lackluster right now, and Gears doesn't have the best early game pressure. His ganks are okay, and for the most part, there's other champs that can out pressure him and just farm it just as fast. He's pretty strong once he has items, but for the most part, so many champs outrange him that it's not even worth it to go into late game with him. Champions like Hecarim, Jarvan, and Gragas are pretty similar in the sense where they're basically picked for early game and just for combos. Gragas is nice with Yasuo, Jarvan good with lockdown CC, Hecarim just good for farming and looking for these early skirmishing, snowballing plays. But they don't really scale and they just do their jobs worse than the champs listed above them. A champion like Dr. Mundo is basically picked as a counter to Elise or just heavy AP comps, whereas Kindred's just pick if you can have a free early game, scale, and just play for late game. For the D tier, we have Kiana, Nocturne, Evelynn, Zac, and Kayn. As far as Kiana goes, she's actually not the worst champion in the better regions like Korea, China, and Europe, but if you're playing Kiana in NA, I guarantee you it's not even worth it for the jungle role. She doesn't have really good matchups and can barely farm her jungle for the most part, cannot pressure objectives, barely can gank, and can't tower dive for the most part until she has her ultimate. A champion like Nocturne just wants to farm, and without his ultimate, he's basically a sitting duck similar to Rengar, but Rengar actually has early game pressure. So if you're just picking a Nocturne to farm, might as well just pick Karthus or Olaf. Evelynn and Kayn are pretty similar from start to finish as champions go. They don't really have early games, aren't strong at all, and can't really pressure objectives for the most part. They are basically just champs that punish people making stupid mistakes and can just snowball and take over the game from that. But other champs are still better than doing that and can take over games much more easily without having to scale. As far as Zac goes, he's actually really high on my lower ELO tier list. I just think for a higher ELO, he isn't the best champion. I know he's being played a lot in Korea and other regions, but for the most part, I don't think he's that good of a jungler because he's just super easy to counterplay with his E. And as far as his Q goes, he can just sit out of range. He can't really pressure objectives, he can't really do much clearing early game, and he's really vulnerable to being invaded. And finally for the E tier, the do not ever play this champion if you want to win a game, we have Twitch, Fiddlesticks, and Wukong. And I don't think I have to discuss or explain any of these champions. They basically just have no utility, no damage, no nothing. Fiddlesticks is potentially debatable, but the other two, yeah, just don't bother. That is it for my high ELO tier list. I will drop you a minimal low ELO tier list. Like I said, I don't play in low ELO, but this is just me going off of base knowledge. I don't know how, accurate these are, but please don't get mad at me in the comments. Let me know what you think. And yeah, that's my low ELO tier list right there. I hope this video helps you guys out in terms of climbing, whatever your ambitions are for the season, your goals. If you want to climb, get gold for the first year, master tier, whatever. I hope this tier list helps you out. I'll be making weekly tier lists starting this year, so don't quote me on that, but for the most part, you guys remind me through my Discord, YouTube, whatever. I'll make sure to make them as frequently as I can.